notice this idle adjusting screw, and they're all, hey friends, don't forget our giveaway. It's coming up. We're going to give away our hatchet in just a minute, and we're also going to give away the free bottle of ethanol shield. So stay tuned for that. You know, setting the idle adjustment is very simple on these Beavers. It's the same way as with one of these Homelights. Matter of fact, I'm going to show you on this Homelight as well. Or if you have your steel chainsaws, your Husqvarna chainsaws, or whatever. So this will actually work on any type of chainsaw that you may have. So we're going to go ahead and get started, but first we're going to take a look at our low idle screw and the high idle screw, because you have 3 adjustments here, and we also have the idle adjustment itself. That is the one we're going to pay attention to this morning. So let's get started. First of all, we're going to start it up, let it warm up. I've already started it once. So. As you can hear, it's kind of revving up a little bit fast. I'm going to let it go through its warm up cycle. It's about 30 seconds. It already has been the start of it, so. I'm just going to flip the trigger for a little bit. And then we're going to come in here and we're going to set it. So on this particular one, it just uses a regular screw. You know, rule of thumb is we don't want this chain turning when it's sitting there idling. We want it idling fast enough to keep it running, but not fast enough to keep this chain spinning. So let's take a look at that real quick. Now as you can tell, the chain's not turning, release the brake. Now I'm going to start this back up to where this chain starts turning, and then I'll use my tack and I'll tell you what the RPM is, and then I'm going to back it off and show you about where this thing is going to idle. Alright, now watch the chain. So friends, you see it right there. You saw it just starting to turn. I brought the idle up until you started seeing the chain start to turn. Okay, we don't want that. Then I started backing the idle back down, backing it away from the carburetor linkage, backing it back down, and you saw it just starting to barely start inching. So I kept coming down until it stopped, and then I went just a little bit further out, okay, till it wasn't turning at all. Now, one thing is you set your brakes. And when you bring the brakes off, you also need to check it to see if it tries to start turning when you take the brake off. So my brake is set. Now I'm going to release the brake, check it. I'm going to rev it up a couple times. Now I can see that chain still inching forward. So I'm going to go in there and I'm going to back it out just a little bit. Still inching forward. You hear it up down. Now I think that's about right. Check it. Now I think that's going to be about right. Let's go ahead and take out our tack. That's idling about 3,100. I'm going to take it down just a little bit more, but that's about right. Okay, taking it back down just a little bit. You can see here, right at 3,000 RPM, 2,900. I'm going to leave it right there. Alright friends, that was right at 2,950, 3,000 RPM. That's perfect. Let me show you what we're looking at on the inside. I'm going to demonstrate what that looks like on this Homelight, but kind of let me show you why we're going to do that. You can't see the screws on the inside of these Beavers. Everything is in there tight. The carburetor's kind of down in the way, and this plastic cover, the cowling top cover, is in your way, and you can't see inside there where that screw is. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you on this Homelight. It's basically the same kind of setup, but I'm going to show you what we're looking at inside this Homelight right here. So I got a Super XL12 right here, a little 58cc Homelight chainsaw. These are great saws. But I'm going to show you this vintage saw. Matter of fact, I say vintage saw. This saw was 1985 model chainsaw. You're going to be amazed at what it looks like on the inside of here. But I was probably a sophomore in high school in 1985. So me and Buck and Billy Ray Smith and Wrangle Star, we're all about the same age. So you can't beat these old vintage type saws and these old vintage type people. We kind of do things the old way. Like I said, I'm a master ASE certified technician for over 30 years. And so I'm going to show you how to do this. So let's take a closer look. Now, as you can see here on this Homelight Super XL, this is your idle adjusting screw, and this is your throttle lever. This is your throttle linkage. And then when I come down here and I give it more fuel, you can see it goes to wide open throttle, or WOT, as you'll see it abbreviated. And when it comes back against this idle adjusting screw. Now, if you notice this idle adjusting screw, and they're all a little bit different, these screws are sometimes, but this one's tapered. The taper gets taller back here as it comes back to the original size of the screw. And then as we screw this in on this particular one, it just simply makes this lever come a little forward, increasing the fuel to the engine, and then also increasing the idle. So when we come back down, if this screw was backed out, it would allow this throttle linkage to go forward, slowing the engine down, or eventually, in one case or not, if it's backed out too far, it's going to allow this engine to die. So let me demonstrate what we're looking at inside here. So if we was to back this screw out and come out towards the outside of the case, it's going to allow that throttle to rotate up back towards me and slow this engine down. If I was to come in, you can see it moving that throttle lever forward or down, in this case, speeding the engine up. And that's how it is on this particular Beaver. We just can't see it in there. So the principles are all the same. That is exactly what you are setting inside there. So let's fire this Homelight up. All right, let's see if we can get this thing to fire up. Whew. Okay, here we go. But I'm going to go ahead and adjust this idle up for you and let you see what's going on. Now what I'm going to do, friends, is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to adjust this idle screw, and I'm going to back it out so that you can hear it slow down, and then I'm going to run it in. Coming up. Okay. That's a little too fast. And I'm going to back it back out now. See how that screw's coming around? It don't take much to make these things come up or down. Now, see where it comes back down? I'll friends, that's what we're doing when we're setting the idle on these Beavers as well. We're setting that screw in relationship to that throttle lever. And it's essential that you have the right RPM. You can see that this one runs better at around 2100. This one's going to run around 2900. Setting their idling is where these Beavers are supposed to run. Okay, because the max RPM on this is about 8500. The max RPM on these Beavers is 12,500. So there's a difference. And the reason is these saws come back from the days of logging and they were meant for torque. You can sink these into the full width of the bar. You can even run 28-inch bars on these saws. They have so much torque, and they'll sit there and just scream all day long, running about 7,500 RPM in the wood, and they'll just work their way through the wood. These are old workhorses. That's the reason max RPM is a little bit different. That's the reason the idle speed is a little bit different, because the configuration on the inside here with the bore and the stroke and all of that is different from this Beaver. They're just made for two different types of things. Well, stay tuned, folks. We got some videos coming out on this Super XL. We're going to take a look. I got a vintage Homelight collection. I probably got about 7 old Homelights, all in the 80s models and 70 models. As you can see, one back there in the background, that's a 1970 XL 101. Back there in the background, you can see that I have the old McCullough 55 back there. I have the 306 Texas Chainsaw Massacre. You see a lot of these on Buck and Billy Ray's channel as well. I have about a 30 chainsaw collection too. So we're going to take a look at some of these old ones. So stay tuned for those videos coming out in the near future. Let's go ahead and put this old Homelight back together. Isn't it amazing how these things are so well built and put together on the inside and simple, folks? That's what I love about these old vintage saws. They're pretty simple. Just about anybody could work on them. And we're going to go over those with you and show you how to work on those. So let's go back to our Beaver. Let's go ahead and start it. It's been a little while since we ran it. There we go. Let's see what the idle is again. About 32. Okay. Go ahead and back this off. That's a lot of fun. These chainsaws are a lot of fun. I hope these videos help, friends. All right, let's give away our hatchet and our bottle of ethanol shield. Our winner today is MechTech. MechTech, I appreciate it. Reach out to me, MechTech, and I'll get this sent to you. Stay tuned for more giveaways to come in the near future. And I have several things I want to give away and get to you. So stay tuned for those future videos. Hey, friends, I appreciate you. I hope this helps. You know, as a master ASE certified tech, having been an engine specialist for Caterpillar, as you can tell, I love teaching. I love doing this. I've been also a professor of diesel technology, small engines, and automotive since the 90s as well, since the late 90s. So some of you are reaching out saying, hey, you sound like a professor. Well, you're right. I have been since about 1998, written 5 books that were used worldwide in the diesel technology area. And so you picked up on that. I appreciate it. I love getting with you. I love teaching. I love showing you ways that you can work on your own stuff and maintain it, and they'll last you for a long time. Hey, I appreciate you. Stay tuned. And remember, love God and love your neighbor.